Many years ago, this world was a beautiful and peaceful place. But one day reality and people's fantasies merged, turning this world into something like a game. The world became dungeons filled with wild monsters and creatures. But humanity would never lose. The world was on the brink. In the course of this upheaval, the ancestors gained extraordinary powers. They gained the strength to stand up to the monsters. The emergence of job changers allowed some cities to endure. Douchin, Central Park, the entrance to the forest reserve. We see a scientist telling people that monsters continue to harm. This is because not all changelings are ready to face the monsters. There are 3 main categories in total. 1. Combatants. 2. Supports. 3. Peaceful. That said, the peaceful only make up 90% of the population. And this world is not defended by them, but by us, the remaining 10% of the combat professions. We are shown a flashback of the main character. He's left behind by people who tell him that resistance will only waste his sister's talents. They know that it's not him who protects this world, it's them. We're transported back to Douchin. They're discussing Lin Changfeng, our hero. He has awakened a rare profession. They are surprised that he has decided to participate in today's evaluation competition. Our hero greets everyone, and then a red-haired cheeky girl comes out, pushing everyone out of the way. That's Chi Yenran, and she's a firebender. She declares that Lin got a bad profession and that she didn't even think he would come here. Lin says there are no terrible professions, only terrible people. But the cheeky Chi replies that he doesn't even have any friends to team up with. Lin replies that he wasn't going to team up with anyone. She is surprised by the hero's decision, and she advises him to find allies. Lin doesn't think that allies won't be of much help besides sharing experiences. She says that if Li will lower his temper, she will accept him in her team. We learn that they studied in the same school Douchin and that only Li can compare with the owner of fire magic. The competition begins and everyone runs to the platform. Li makes it to the platform in a couple of seconds. She is angry because during his studies he was the best at everything and always ahead of him. Li's physical strength is amazing and he is teleported to the forest reserve. The scholars are discussing the students. They mention Chi Yenran and that her magic is quite good. They think she is worthy of attention. Fire mages are quite rare, but have a significant advantage in attack and offense. We learn that on the day of Changfeng's awakening, there was a strange anomaly in the sky. He became the only mage to be classed as a martial artist. Throughout history, there have only been a few instances of strange anomalies in the sky, but it never resulted in anything. The profession that was awakened in the man proved to be useless. Meanwhile, Changfeng was attacked by a wild rabbit, which he chopped up with a quick lunge. He gained 5% experience and realized that he could deal with them quite easily. Lin Changfeng reveals that he is a newly awakened professional and that in this world, when a person turns 18, he gets a chance to change his occupation in the Tower of Work. He chose to become a professional not because of the spirit of patriotism, not because of the paycheck. He saw his parents drafted into the military and never returned. His sister was forcibly taken away because of her talent. He couldn't do anything about it, realizing how powerless he was in a country where not even the laws could protect him and his loved ones. He decided to become stronger. He meets a level 2 gray squirrel, and he realizes he can't handle it alone. In order to defeat it, he summons a level 1 broken undead and it attacks it. Suddenly 3 more level 2 monsters appear, and he is about to summon more creatures. The next part of the story begins with Li standing near a pillar with a fire burning on the top of it. He is called a weakling. He is not going to team up with him. His strength is underestimated and no one is going to team up with him. The undead have the strength of a normal human. It takes a lot of mana to summon the creatures, and they think it's better for the creature to fight on its own. But they don't yet know about his hidden Supreme Awakening ability. He is not a simple summoner. He summons a lot of undead, and they easily slash level 2 gray rats. He reaches level 2 and notices that his undead are cutting him up. The gray squirrel has also leveled up and is now a rat king. Li summons more undead to deal with it. The rat king is not a bad guy and decides to attack Lin. He defends himself with the spiritual destruction ability which splits his opponent's mind and subdues him. He sees that the creature has already been subjugated. The creature's head explodes and the hero explains how the ability works. He kills a level 4 creature. He doesn't care about this and he decides to reach level 6 as soon as possible. At this level, he unlocks a hidden skill. Meanwhile, one of the team is attacked by an evil monster. They defend themselves and Chi counterattacks, destroying a level 3 armored boar. She reaches level 2. We can see that to deal with a level 3 monster the team has to put in a lot of effort. This proves that our hero is very strong. She wants to defeat a level 5 monster, but it needs a level 5 warrior and 2 level 4 supports. Meanwhile, the team is only level 2. Suddenly, the ground starts to shake and they are attacked by a level 6 monster, the stone primate. Chi and warrior decide to run, but the support falls. The support's legs won't obey and the monster prepares to attack. Warrior rushes to protect the sapper. Flashback. He decides to become a warrior and says goodbye to his parents. He promises that he will not back down, and that the defenses of this world lie with such pros. He attacks. Chi can't do anything about it and one of Lee's undead appears, saving the warrior and the supporter. Lee, stating that it is the duty of the pro to protect those he chooses to protect, defeats a level 6 monster. She recalls seeing that creature with a scythe in its hands at the ceremony when Lee summoned it. She realizes that he is hiding his true power and wonders what level he is now. She runs to his allies, asking if everything is alright. The warrior jokes that he could use a new pair of trousers. She tries to find Lin Changfeng. She asks her allies about him. They tell her where he ran off to. They haven't realized that the creature with the scythe is Lin's undead. They think Lin ran to finish him off. She explains everything to them. They realize that Lin is stronger than they can imagine. We see Lin going after a level 6 monster. He realizes that high-level monsters are limited by the boundaries in space and that monster couldn't leave the central zone. He explains all this and asks who gave him the order. He uses the necromancer's mind reading and we see how John Doe wonders who is ruining his contract. He asks Shang Xiao to bring him to him and informs the man to wait. Soon he will. Just like those humans will be his subordinate. The unknown man asks Lin if he killed his best servants. He thinks a level 5 man could defeat a spirit with just a mind-affecting ability. This monster Lin was chasing is a king-level monster. Lin is going to defeat it, but John Doe doesn't think so. He talks about how he wants to fulfill his great plan, and talks about his friends and how they will be a treat for him. Lin is furious at being provoked by his loved ones. Lin attacks with his undead and destroys a level 6 monster. The activation of the Supreme Awakening begins. Dark smoke billows everywhere and someone on a very powerful monster appears. Lin realizes that this is the true Lord. We see a huge dragon appear in the town, covered in electric lightning. The locals panic, thinking it's an invasion, but everyone tries to reason with each other that monsters can't get into the main town. Jane Doe realizes that it's an awakening, and says that her former classmates from Daochen's old school aren't so bad. But she's sorry, she has to leave town, and so she would have met them. The medics are trying to get to the bottom of the problem. One of the medics says it's the first case of a second awakening in the Bureau of Administration. They need to find him as soon as possible. They rejoice, because now they can rub their noses in the other branches. The medics try to activate the secret realm, but something prevents them from doing so. The door to the secret realm is closed. The secret realm is closing. We see a certain monster finishing a sacrifice ceremony, and he prepares to attack the humans. He sends his servants into the rift. The events move to the forest where an unknown Zhang has reached level 3. His allies rejoice for him, saying that no one else can achieve it so quickly. They encounter a dangerous monster. A level 6 ogre attacks them. They are attacked by a pack of monsters. We can see that the secret realm is in chaos, a teleportation platform to the secret realm. The scientists don't understand what could have gone wrong, and try to find out why the kingdom is closed. They realize that there is some force that is blocking the passage to the realm. They can only hope that the people inside the realm can defeat it. Creature. Lin completes the Supreme Awakening. His occupation is changed to Undead Lord. A new unique divine skill Supreme Power is obtained. A new unique divine skill Unbending Will has been obtained. A voice in his head tells us about the skill. Supreme Power increases the summon creature's heart key 10 times higher. Their skills will also improve as they level up. Unyielding Will allows you to transfer the damage dealt to the summon creatures. He also gains an unlimited number of summon creatures. It turns out he's immortal. He asks an unknown voice who he is, to which he introduces himself. He is the spirit of a divine system of professions. Any person who awakens a divine profession will have a spirit attached to him. The spirit's name is Fallen Angel. The protagonist wonders if others can hear him. But only the Demon Lord can hear his voice and mentally give him orders. And asks what order the Fallen Angel can use. He replies that he can scan everyone in a 500-meter radius for signs of life. He starts scanning and finds out that there are a total of 4 lives within 500 meters. 3 of them are Qing's team and the other one is apparently an enemy. Lin asks the spirit if he can figure out who it is. To which the spirit gives a negative answer. He summons the spirits and sends them to investigate the surroundings, then uses his new ability Sense Perception and swaps bodies with one of the undead. He finds a fire, deciding that the footprints are from a Yenran team. The spirit uses the scan again and finds no living creatures. He does not realize where they have gone, for it is impossible to move so fast in such a dense forest. He assumes that a being of divine level has taken them with him. He realizes that he had better attack first, or he will. He summons a host of undead and orders them to kill all the monsters in the secret realm. We see a certain Xiaoyan being woken up by her mates. They are in a cave. We see the team panicking. They realize they have been teleported. They are greeted by an unknown monster they call Healthy Boulder. An angry voice booms through the cave and they are greeted by the 9th child of evil. A secret boss, king level. He yells at people. He tells them why he's angry. They have been invading his kingdom for decades and killing his people. He makes the people swear an oath of loyalty at the altar. He will forgive them and give them the power of an evil lord. In this way he will turn them into his servants. Qing asks them why he won't make the contract himself, but it turns out the divine monster has already made the contract and tells them that only humans will be able to make and receive the maximum power under the contract. After all, the evil lord was once a human too. One of them decides to enter, and Qing first blocks the way by destroying the steps. He decides to enter anyway, jumping over the cliff. He accepts the offering, shouting that he wants to become the protagonist. He is filled with this power and becomes a level 7 fallen demon swordsman. The divine level monster asks to prove his loyalty to the Lord of Evil. He asks to kill all humans. The swordsman pulls out his blade and is about to attack.